Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Disco Elysium, where we are doing our absolute best to give this young lady permanent retinal damage with this flashlight. Hey, stop looking away, you just look directly into the light. Okay, who is this? Do we know this person? I know we have like a whole thing to do, but we're gonna get there. Let's talk to this woman first. You see a sturdy woman humming to herself. She seems to be browsing books. Okay, yes, I agree with that assessment. Again, flashlight directly into the eyes at all times. We can just barely hear her with our challenging perception success. Hey, is that a good one? She nods, her attention fully focused on reading. Who are you?
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
Okay, well, I mean, that is what it says in the dialogue, so I guess that makes sense. She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. Thank you, sense of empathy. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working? That is not a polite way to ask that question. Hey, what are you doing?
Looking for something to read.
She reverts her attention to a worn-out paperback. Oh, yeah, phenomenal. Or, I'm a policeman. No, I'm going to say phenomenal, even though it sounds a little bit like I'm being a sarcastic dick. We'll just, if she's upset by it, I'll just make it clear. No, I was being earnest. I think that's great.
It is.
I'm a policeman. No, I think we can probably just let her get back to her thing. Let's go investigate this fridge. So, we might have to just barge in through the curtain, right? We held off earlier because I didn't want to upset the lady who owns the bookstore because I want her to hire me for a hilarious paranormal investigation. But we might have to get a little bit desperate here.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
All right. Well, she certainly remembers the name of her store. So this was a drama test. We could probably get a pretty good shot at this. How difficult was it? Map. It's only a medium difficulty test. And we could we could take another hit of Parolidon and we could make that happen if we wanted to spend the point to unlock it. Maybe we could just ask her about the fridge. I was told there's a huge fridge in the building's cellar. Can you lead me there? A fridge? She fidgets with her pendant. No, I don't know anything about a fridge. Aren't you interested in books? She nods at the bookshelves. For whatever reason, she's lying to you about the fridge. Seems like you have to find your own way to the cellar. Well, maybe if I impress my authority upon her. I'm not wearing my minus authority shirt, am I? Oh, and the dog is freaking out. Don't worry, it's almost certainly actually nothing, because it almost always is. You know what? I'm just going to try it. Who knows? It might actually work on her. Seriously, I need to get to the fridge in the cellar. It's a police matter. Oh, but if I tell her about the dead body, she might be less likely to want to use it. Okay, what if I want to buy a book? How about that? Goodness, you are already doing good browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? She fiddles her pendant, then waves her bony fingers directly at you. Don't you feel compelled? Go, get back there. The books await you. I'm wondering if we could maybe make her a little bit more friendly by buying something. And now that we have some money and we're not desperately in debt, we already have enough cash for tonight's rent and everything. What types of books do you have? This feels like it's just going to get her to say the name of the store to me again. Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. She nudges her glasses. The shelves compel you, don't they? All right, fine. She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved. Yeah, let's go buy a book, and we'll see if that helps matters. So, we looked around a little bit here. Oh hey, the Man from Hjelmdal series. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hjelmdal somewhere. Oh wow, more Hjelmdal. Mountains of it. Heroic quantities of Hjelmdal. Roy's puny shirt is nothing compared to the real deal. Well, let's have a look. Rows and rows of Helmdallermen blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Helmdall and the Mammoth Riders, Man from Helmdall, Return to Helmdall, and the solipsistic Man from Helmdall and the Helmdall Man. That's the one I want. Good God, how many of these are there? Maybe 100? Man from Helmdall and the Sages at the End of the World, Man from Helmdall and the False God, Man from Helmdall and the Scorched Earth, Man from Helmdall, the Helmdall Colonies, Man from Helmdall and the Swamp Beast, and, of course, Man from Helmdall and the Snow Crabs. That one's just about a really nice dinner that he had one time. Oh, is that all? Not even close! Man from Helmdall in Hell, Man from Helmdall in the Forest of Slaves. That's a pretty bad forest. Man from Helmdall Under the Lake. That's not how you're supposed to interact with lakes. Man from Helmdall Burning. There's even The Trial of Death, a pasternal combat game book set in the world of Helmdaller men, and so much more. And for some reason I can make a pain threshold test here. I mean, we have reasonable odds of passing this. Do any of these books, really call out to me? Pain threshold. We don't have anything that's going to increase our pain threshold, right? We're not going to get a bonus on this by, going out and re-equipping. Let's just roll it. Hey, what a surprise. We actually passed the thing. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching. What's that? Your hand reaches toward a book with a glossy cover art of the very muscular Man from Helmdall, what a surprise, in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. Between the throne and the Helmdaller man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Helmdall and the Devil Woman. I'm not this guy, right? Okay, this is interesting. I could be into this. It is 9 real. You know what? We gotta buy something or she's not gonna probably be all that nice to us. But maybe it's not this. Hold on, let's look around and see if we have any other options. They definitely don't want to spend a ton of money on books. Oh hey, a mountain of board games. A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Revachol-related merchandise. Well, let's look at it. An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katuak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a pick-your-adventure game book titled Tales of Wural, Cavern of Velkrag. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? Is there anything here that really catches my eye? There's a box that says Wural 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game. New maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays that is a lot of money. That's too much money. We definitely should not spend all that. Hey, Storekeep, what board games do you have here? Wonderful board game, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure. Or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinde, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Relbritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children. Look at me. Who'd want to have children with me? This feels like, this feels a little standoffish, I think. A little more than we probably ought to pull on her. I don't feel as if I have any kids. Friends are technically like family. She fiddles with her pendant, thinking. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization-building game where you build a civilization, that makes sense. Then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. Oh, it's a historical game. It'll cost 12 real. We could afford that and still have the money for another night at the Whirling. What about all these Wural things? Oh, lousy auras there, she shudders. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kinds of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You could still buy them, though. That does sort of make me want to buy it more. I mean, we could probably make some more money, right? Hold on. Okay, let's continue looking around. I'm not certain we're done shopping yet. Shelf of crime novels. These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. A couple spook novels hide amidst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of spycraft and daring-do. Crime fiction is a disgrace, an asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes and the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of, year after year, coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not to mention, not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of the books found on the shelf? I was with them for most of that. This part's not true, though. This stuff gets brought up constantly in detective fiction. You know what? Sure thing. Let's see what the titles are. You see Dick Mullen on the job? Get Me Mullen. The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard. The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen. A killing is declared. That's a very good title. Dick Mullen in the Murder House. The Final Case of Dick Mullen, an obvious lie. Dick Mullen in the Clock Tower. The Ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick, probably not in the right section. Dick Mullen's Funeral Pyre. The Murder of Dick Mullen. Oh man, Dick Mullen dies? Oh no, it turns out he faked it to solve a case. What a surprise. Are there any more, is what I must know. Why, yes, there's also The Dame Who Did It. Farewell, My Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in this series. The Morbid Tales of Dick Mullen. A Dark Tide Turns. Tragedy Calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with a fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the Murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer. Not become a murderer, but become that specific murderer. You know, after all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Yeah, that's a great question. Why is this a reaction speed check? Oh no, I don't know who Dick Mullen is. Your attempt to grasp at the answer fails. It seems very close by, apparently physically, pulsating just out of reach. Hey, Storekeep, what's with all this crime fiction? I mean, I do know her name. I feel like... whatever. Oh, crime, robberies, murders. She lowers her voice. Even sexual crimes. We are fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective. Okay, well, I'm very insulted. How dare she? The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. Oh, this might actually be, useful. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell. Let's look through the display. I sure do love reading long lists of book titles to you all. Browsing through all the books with their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob That's a guess if it wasn't clear. And Alfie Delatraz by one Cecilia Averbrook. What's it about? Oh, I have a guess. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tournée racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver Jacob That Guy. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to his life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other, simultaneously, hopefully. Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days. I really must insist you buy one of the books, you're interrupted by the shopkeep. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead, take your time. Time is commerce. Hey, is there anything of note on this shelf? Oh, I would say, the woman hums to herself, The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power. Who or what is an innocence? Uh-oh. That's not a great question for a police officer to be asking. Well, a very influential historical figure, but surely I don't have to tell you that. She waves her hand as if casting aside the thought. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. Yeah, that's probably true. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. I thought it was about which of these innocences is the coolest and greatest. Perhaps for a layman, she scoffs. Deep analysis is necessary to peel back the multi-layered meanings. Do her words seem vague and abstract to you? So you recommend it? Certainly. It's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise. You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside. And also, it's not actually that expensive. And also, it might... I think this is way more likely to have some kind of positive effect on us in the long term, in terms of, like, imparting important information, than the role-playing books are. But also, I really want the role-playing books. It turns out that that is an addiction that spans universes. I think we should buy this, though. We'll try to put together the money for the role-playing stuff as well. A true cultural touchstone, she nods. Enjoy the read. Okay, I will do that, probably. Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Endangered, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. Let's look at these maps, I guess. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest, in the northeast, is Le Caillou, you are here. Another, far away in the southwest, the Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme. Also, of course, Ozon, Laurentide, Face à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore. It's you. Alright, well hold on, let's squint. Can we see cities on these islands? You can. On Caillou, Revachol, a single black star. On Ozon, Fond de l'Air and Vermandoux. On Archipelagos, Croyant-Moraine, Villiers. On Seminine, Olduvai. And on Laurentine, Diora of the Seven Seas. Hey, I know that one. Lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of culture and commerce, torn apart by history. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Mundi is the north azimuth, Grad is the northeast, Samara the east, Seol the west. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds, worlds past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know that you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Wow, that is a very high encyclopedia check, holy crap. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust. Okay, what about the map of Revachol? The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperant. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides. Le Jardin, Stella Maris, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East. And west of the river, Huron. It's somewhere to live, not bad. Then there's Jamrock. That's bad. People should not live there, but they do. Then Faubourg, almost as bad and much larger. Then Coal City, that's the worst. And Martinez? It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait, there it is. North of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have, but it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. You're still alive. Alright, well, thank you, Volition. I don't know that I needed that particular pick-me-up, but okay. Let's look at the map of Martinez. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing, a picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed, could be useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags is there. Hey, Storekeep, can I buy these maps? I'm sorry, officer, the map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore, and besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. I kind of want to take it, honestly. This reminds me of a bookstore that, it's not exactly nearby, but that I've been to a number of times. It's a little independently run place. It seems like I've never seen anybody buy anything there. They have a lot of, like, very old books. I think the person who owns it is just wealthy enough that they can kind of do whatever they want with their time, so they run this bookstore. But the back room of it just has, like, hundreds of really old maps and photographs. Like a bunch of maps from the time when California was thought to be an island off the west coast of the United States. And it's a fascinating place. In that place, too, all of the maps are far too expensive for anyone to buy. But I almost get the sense that the guy who runs the place doesn't actually want anybody to buy them. He just wants people to come and look at them. It's a nice store, though. Why is the one of Martinez so cheap? That old thing? That's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps. The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it? Okay, so what happened then? They didn't get far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. It would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business. It feels to me like we do not need to steal this. And also, like, it would be bad if I got caught trying to steal it. But I will buy it. Yeah, 90 cents is fine. I'm fine with that. Who knows? Could be useful. Ooh, shelf of paranormal books. Now, this is interesting. This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Well, let's have a look. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. These 3 things are very important to the working class mind. I'm a little nervous about what my brain means by the working class mind. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. How does that work? It serves platitudes while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. Does the book say anything else? The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. Oh, that's interesting. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And part of my brain is going to push me to buy this book. There's even a chapter on the ancient Seraise tradition of using duck gallbladder to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre- and post-factum apply. Nothing worth buying. It's weird that that's on the shelf of paranormal books, because that arrangement of things I guess I'm making assumptions about the woman who runs the place. That arrangement of things suggests that she knows this book is nonsense, but you would kind of imagine that a person who knows that this book is nonsense wouldn't even be selling it? I don't know. Hey, storekeep, what books are these? Sir, please no browsing in that shelf, she narrows her eyes. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no. That's... What? What are you talking about, lady? Alright, I bought something. Are we friends now?
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Alright, let's press her on the curse. It would be really cool if we could just get back there without letting her know that I plan to stash a dead body in her store. We have nothing new to ask about. Alright, let me try from here. See if we can do anything at all here. Should we just barge in? It doesn't feel like the nicest way to go about things, but also I'm so damn curious, and we do need access. Like, it's pretty important. Alright, I'm gonna be impulsive. Let's just rip the curtains apart, this time for real. I did it. I'm a hero. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen. I warned you! You are unleashing forces beyond your understanding! I don't know, it doesn't seem all that bad, really. Ghostly silhouettes of hairdryers. Oh yeah, this place is a salon, right? There's like salon chairs. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. Looks like Guillaume Le Millon, that hair poster. I still can't quite say it so that it rhymes. A warded door. A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked, and we could go for it. It's not really that unlikely. Let's knock? Yeah, no big surprise there. A hollowed-out dark echo. We do not have any gear that's going to help us with our, pain threshold, right? This will give us psyche, which is not really relevant. This will give us intellect, also not relevant. Pain threshold is a purely physical issue. I guess let's try it. It's not that unlikely. Yeah. What a surprise. Ow! I mean, you gotta give him this. He really gave that his all. He went for it in a way that I really respect. We rolled a 7 when we needed an 8. Oh, shoot! Whose moronic idea was to just run through the door? Don't you know things like that hurt? Let's see. I deserve this. My body deserves to suffer for being this weak and disappointing. I am not going to cry because I ran into a door. Listen, I cry. It happens. But not because of this. Is that blood I'm seeing? Are you alright? The lieutenant steps closer, his eyes soft and worried. This looked pretty intense and painful, I must admit. What is going on there? An upset, high-pitched voice calls out from the bookstore. Are you really trying to break down the back door? I warn you, don't tempt the spirits, officer. You can hear her take a frightened step backwards. Don't tempt the spirits or you'll damage the holy wards on the door. I mean, it barely looks like you've done any damage to the door. Still locked and closed, covered in lots of little things. Okay, well, that's disappointing. Right, that's going to keep glowing until I actually interact with those. Hold on, we'll be right back to that.
You've hurt yourself now. I told you not to mess around back there. What are you even trying to accomplish, you fool?
Let's see. I think this might land for her, and also it sort of feels like the thing I think that our Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau might say. I need to know what secrets lie behind the door. It's part of my spiritual quest. You're only making things worse. Stop it. Be compelled to look at books. She fiddles with her pendant. Go to them. I bought books, lady. Interesting. So I got a +1 for being on a quest to freeze the body, but unfortunately a -1 for having ripped open the curtains. Well, what are you going to do? I do think that spending a point in drama makes a lot of sense for our character. Do we have any other drama checks? I've clicked every icon except the correct one. I think the answer to that question is no. Yeah. Oh, also, we have like a proper map now that we bought a map. So we've spent all of our time over here. Apparently there's quite a bit more map left. We could try to push her about the police thing. She's not going to let me back there if I tell her that I have a dead body to take care of. I just don't see how that works. I'm going to say farewell for now. I think we're going to take some negatives on some checks if I tell her about the dead body. That is not in our best interest. When am I allowed to try the cigarettes again? I don't remember what time we got up. We're probably not there yet. I guess we can take a moment and examine these things. A worn and torn map of the Martinez area dating from 48. A title on the top reads, Bienvenue à Revachol. It's a bit out of date, as it was originally created by a design studio in a failed attempt to spruce up Martinez and turn it into a fancy tourist location. The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez with directions to apparently touristy locations. Your 48 resides on the upper right corner. Let's just trace a path through the grid. Your finger moves through the various streets, along Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue de Saint-Cispar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself. For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and look at the map. Okay, thanks, that was really helpful. Let's look at this book. This dusty tome brings knowledge on the history of innocences. It is written by one Joao Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego, a Mesca fascist, who tries to reach a conclusion on which of the innocences is the coolest in the world. Definitely a thing you can trust a fascist's opinion on. The book is large and heavy. Well, let's have a look. Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl, of names, dates, places, and events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain. This is the sort of thing that our very high encyclopedia skill might actually be good for. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No? Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready? Yeah, sure, let's do it. That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence? Oh yeah, this is what I was made for. Okay, well, give me all the hints you got then. A pop quiz is a short examination designed to test your knowledge without any prior warning or announcement. Such exams allow the teacher to assess how thoroughly the students have retained the material at hand. Voila! Now blast that first innocence. That is not what I was asking for, and you know it because you are my own brain. My pain threshold says Dolores Day. I trust it. Incorrect, damn it. It was a success. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions, among these the moral intern. She was powerful and beautiful on all her icons. Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat and it hurts. You see a flash of silver, a wreath, an airport bag. And blonde hair, you don't know why. Another choice, perhaps. I have a guess why. Yeah, steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one. So this is... It's probably good for us to dig into these barely remembered shards of our past, right? I mean, I know it's going to make me sad and it's going to do morale damage, but it's got to be better for us to have our brain back in working order. Let's dig. Yep, knew that was going to happen. A strange sensation of loss. When she left the Earth, the dust and the ice and the humans... this is unimportant to the quiz. Stop thinking about this. Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of Dolores Day. Who was the first innocence? And it wasn't her. It was probably the Parnacarnassian. Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he. But Franco Negro presumed as such and called him pious. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God, and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring that love. What a grim thought. As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party. Okay, question 2. Who was the strongest innocence? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You? Me? Anybody? Okay, Encyclopedia, I trust you've got my back. What's up? Well, an innocence is the highest category of historical personage in the world, a literal personification of history. Traditionally, an innocence, when anointed, assumes supreme rule over the Occident, or the known world in general, at least, the parts that matter. Yeah, so interesting. I thought maybe this time you would give me the answer to the question, though. Oh, yeah, I could do better. Okay, so, commonly, an innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. This is seen as unnecessary. The innocence wins because an innocence can't help but win, for their deeds are inevitabilities. Did this help? It did not, actually. Ah, damn. Dolores. Okay. Franco Negro was a person who wrote about the first innocence, so seems unlikely that that's correct. Digging on this Dolores thing is probably just going to lead to me getting real sad again, so let's try Vesper Messina, not because I'm afraid of getting sad, but because I'm looking at our morale and our number of morale charges, and I'm starting to wonder if I might get myself in a real problem if I keep digging on this particular score. Then again, my curiosity is very, very much pulling at me. Let's do it. Let's push it. Incorrect again. While she originated many modern institutions, launched several successful expeditions, and was even critical of the Innocentic system itself, and somehow keeps popping up in your mind, she is not often considered the strongest. Even though the words most associated with her rule are l'amour, la compassion, l'autodiscipline, love, compassion, and self-control, which could be seen as facets of strength. I would agree with that. Would you like to try again? Okay, Vesper Messina. Incorrect, remarkably. Vesper Messina is not a person, but a defunct state on the southeastern coast of the Occident. It used to take up most of the peninsula before separating into the republics of Vesper and Messina. Well, then I guess there's only one choice. Named the Innocence of Militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the interisolary real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and the bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue. Question 3. Who was the false innocence? Ah, got it under control, no problem. Solid on this one. It's widespread historical information. Okay, are you going to be helpful this time? Because I could use a hint. Yes. There exists a group called the Founding Party, known as the Holy Party during the time of the Paracarnassian. This, the world's oldest international organization, spends its time in search of either the reemergence of the innocents or new members. And then I sigh heavily out loud while presumably still looking at the book. There seems to be a mix-up with the sources. It's not my fault. At least it clearly wasn't Dolores Day. She couldn't be false. She's beautiful. Dolores. No, stop thinking it. I said it wasn't her. She was true. Okay. The false one. Well, I mean, they might have attached a very negative a negative article to his name afterward. Stepan the Despicable? Incorrect. Stepan the Despicable, regent of Kedra, was a ruler who conquered the known world during the Kedriatic conquest, instead of the despotic Erno Pasternak. Would you try again? Well, I heard this guy Erno Pasternak is a despot, so... Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences. Some assumed to have innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Erno Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence? The most important of them all? The most precious to humankind? Oh, I have a feeling who my brain's gonna say. I've got it, honest. Okay, are you sure this time? I'll bite. Hint me. Of course, this is my thing, like the reason I exist in this world. The correct answer is Franco Negro. You're absolutely certain of that. 0 doubts. It can't be, right? Because we already, like... Which one was Franco Negro? He was the strongest, right? Is that what we decided? Okay, I can't scroll back up far enough to see the actual question, but I think that's right. That doesn't mean that he wasn't the greatest as well. He could be. But I'm going to say this thing. Correct. The Mesca might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Dei has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence, a most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from intersolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful. Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get a D. Not particularly remarkable, but technically passing. Not that anyone really expected better. You would have done better if you just left Dolores Dei for the end. Dial the Dolores Dei down a bit. Damn you, you arrogant book, which apparently I say out loud. The lieutenant is jolted awake by your furious cursing. What's going on with you? This book is unfair. Okay. The lieutenant stares at you, his visage unflinching. You are shouting at an inanimate object like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have trouble with the right answers. Okay, put this book away. That didn't actually give me a lot to work with. I'll tell you what we did get, though. Close thing. We have completed our rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. Jesus. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing subject in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and will keep on winning, till you die, or overcome it. So, intelligence and psyche red check failures heal your morale, physical and motorics red checks failures heal your health, and the learning cap for pain threshold has been raised considerably. Honestly, not all that great of a thought, but what I do like about it is that it might save our lives, because our health is real bad. Both of our health colors are real bad. I was kind of hoping we were going to get some XP from reading that book. I think I saw this woman, while we were having that thought, say something about the character faking his death. I wonder if she's reading about that detective. Maybe we can barge in here. Hello, I'm a policeman.
I know you are.
Do you need the help of a policeman?
What with?
Maybe your husband is missing? My husband? No, he's not. Okay, so where could he be? I don't know, at home now, out drinking with his friends, working? Where's this going, officer? So, what I'm hearing is you don't really know where your husband is. Yes, but... She looks around and takes a deep breath, a little annoyed. I don't really need to know where my husband is, not all the time. Ah, but wouldn't you like to? No. She looks you straight in the eye. Her right foot is tapping nervously. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, maybe she's just nervous because I've run up to her and acted real crazy at her while holding a crowbar. I mean, I can totally help you find your missing husband. Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband. She has, though. The husband is totally lost. You should tell her that it's okay. Hey, it's okay. What? I mean, it's all right not knowing where your husband is. There's nothing shameful in that. Who said anything about shame? Stop talking down to me. She puts her foot down. My husband is not missing. Ah, but maybe your husband is missing. I almost want to say it just because I think she'll get mad at us in probably an entertaining way. Well, maybe your cockatoo is missing. I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here. For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get like this. It's better to indulge him at this point. Oh good, Kim's really coming around on us. Ma'am, I was asking about your cockatoo. Is it missing? I don't even have a cockatoo. And guess what? Oh, it's a trap. Never ever say what. Alright, fine. Cockatoo not missing. I just wanted to make sure. I'm just doing my job over here. Great. She turns her attention back to the bookstand. Just one more question. Just one more thing. What did you mean by me being a cockatoo? Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore. Oh, maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain, or your heraldic bird? Yeah, actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Thanks for the tip. Get task. I now have a thing that can give us some XP. And then I'm just going to stare at her while she browses books for a moment. Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work smoking. Okay, well, that's all for the moment. I'll just let you read. The woman before you nods and returns to her reading. Okay, well that was something. Let's go see if there's a book about cockatoos. I've gotten very distracted from whatever the hell it is that we were actually doing. Also, dog is a very inconsiderate recording partner. Alright, a book about cockatoos. What do you think? Where might such a thing be? I guess we could just ask. Let's ask. I bet she'd be very interested in answering a question about a book.
And welcome to crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
It would be rude to interrupt her, obviously. I'm looking for a book about cockatoos. A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs, right next to the shelf of biographies. Great, thank you. That's excellent. I'm hoping that we can get a bunch of XP for this now that we've decided that it is a task I care about. From A to that horrible shrieking sound the cockatoos make, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo. A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title. Yeah, let's flip through. Turns out there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral problems. As a person who has had to deal with cockatoos in domestic situations, I believe that. That seems correct to me. You don't have behavioral problems. That's garbage. You're cool. Hey, what about this guide to cockatoos, storekeeper? Okay, good. I'm so happy that it was less than 7 real. Why, it's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious. This I almost wanna... I kinda do wanna just steal it if we can. It's a white check, so presumably failing it won't get us into too much trouble because we have to be able to come back and do it again. And it is kind of expensive, and also, stealing the book and running off with it is a real cockatoo thing to do, so I'm gonna press this button. You are kidding me. Slowly, you move your hand toward the tome of cockatoos, but before you reach the book, you're interrupted. The lieutenant coughs sharply, then whispers, Do we really need to do this? I think not. I was reaching for the... hold on a second. I was already holding the book. I was flipping through it. Okay. I don't understand any of this. I'm just going to buy this book. I don't know what you meant by that, Kim. In fact, I'm offended. Oh, a nature enthusiast. Good choice. I knew it was a good idea to keep that around. I'm going to read this book right here in the bookstore. I paid for it. It's mine. A book about different cockatoo species and their behavioral problems. Perhaps it could also offer some insight into your own often problematic actions. I don't know what you're talking about. The spectacular Major Majestic cockatoo eyes you from the cover. A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminoe Islands and in southern Face à la Mer. Known for their intelligence and general precociousness, cockatoos are popular birds in aviculture. However, they often exhibit various behavioral issues. This book talks about the delicate nature of twos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo, the Major Majestic cockatoo, and the most common bang-bang cockatoo. It's colorfully illustrated. Okay, what problems do these birds have exactly? Oh, where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk, and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know how to wrap up. Yeah, that does sound like me a little bit. You know, I could handle that. It would be nice to have someone to talk to when feeling lonely. Well, who would ever want a chatty companion? Yeah, you know what? This character spends a lot of his time talking. He needs someone who knows how to listen. Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility, yep, all of those are real, as recurring issues. If left unsatisfied, cockatoos may scream non-stop, also true, pluck their feathers, or become aggressive. Right? That's pretty bad. Anything else? It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day, and give them the full care that they need. These birds will never understand that you have a life of your own. Okay, but there has to be something great about cockatoos as well, right? Oh, you're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform, cuddle, and show off, and will even scream for fun, often as loud as up to 135 decibels. Oh, that is fun. Ouch, that must hurt. Alright, let's read about these cockatoos one after another. The funeral cockatoo is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus funereus, relates to its dark and somber plumage. This bird looks as if dressed for a funeral 24/7. There is something indisputably ominous about it. Okay, what about the Major Majestic? Perhaps the most impressive of all species, the endangered Major Majestic cockatoo is often described as the most flamboyant bird in the jungle, its pink-colored wings and flowing crest embellishing its proud and bumptious nature. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more enliven the monotonous hues of the verdant forest than this big, bold, and beautiful species. It must be glorious to behold, dark pink and snow white. And what about the most common bang-bang cockatoo? Despite its banging name, the bang-bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species. Common in almost all Seminoe forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world, its plumage is mainly gray and white. The Seminoe's name Bang Bang is thought to be of onomatopoeic origins. Okay, I'm seeing some familiarity. This bird does sound a bit like me. Yes, but all these cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you? Only the funeral cockatoo in its darkness can truly grasp the depths of my doom-laden soul. Or, what if I'm just a fuck-up-a-two? I mean, I am a fuck-up-a-two. There's no two ways about that. But this feels suitably dramatic for our character, I think. Yeah, I got XP for that. You're right. You're Psittacus funereus embodied. This ominous bird belongs on your heraldry. We need to have some heraldry made. Okay, well that was fun. And worth 10 XP, which, you know, it's not nothing. Oh, we got a task and then completed it. It probably doesn't need to give me a little exclamation point when that happens. So we're still quite far away from another skill point. I think we're probably going to get in the neighborhood of 3 points of 30 points of experience when we smoke that cigarette finally, since we do have a quest for it and everything. But that's not quite going to put us to the level, is it? So we're going to have to come up with some other source here. I don't really know what we would do, though. I was kind of hoping that talking to her after attempting it was going to give us a, Still gotta keep doing that thing. Was going to give us a boost on the white check or, you know, something helpful. Let's see if the kid has any more light to shine on this situation.
A little gift from the sky.
Oh. Hey, who's that woman? Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice, if a bit distressed. Why is she distressed? Oh, I think she has a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful. Interesting. Okay, thank you for that, Annette. I'm gonna go harass Aunt Billy about her husband some more. Hey, you were right that I'm a cockatoo. Excuse me? I went and read up on them, just like you said. I even decided on what kind of a cockatoo I am. You want to know? I don't know. The most talkative one? Oh, they're all the most talkative one. No, I'm the funeral cockatoo. The what now? The funeral cockatoo. It's the most depressing one, which I bet she'll agree with. The woman looks baffled by your personal revelation. You truly are one strange cop, aren't you? She says, slowly shaking her head. No, I think I think we're all like this. I mean, Kim's probably a bird of some kind, right? I just bet he is. Am I allowed to smoke this cigarette now? Let's see if we've gotten over. Wait, where are my cigarettes? It's a tool, right? Cigarettes are a tool. We probably don't need the flashlight. We should probably go ahead and heal up a little bit. Oh, what's this now? There it is, a brave little army in your pocket. Yeah, let's do it. All right, light it up. Get a load of this rock and roll cop here, people. Johnny Thundercop fishes a cheap lighter out of his pants. With a flick of the thumb, there's fire, a primal satisfaction. And here we go. The lighter's dark green, disposable plastic. Safety's off. In your case, the safety is always off. Boy, ain't that the truth. I'm not asking about repercussions. Dip that bad boy in the flame and breathe in. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. A nostalgia for yourself, the man you were in your youth. Johnny Thundercop is back, and he's chill as balls. I almost made it. I saw it ahead of time, and I was like, steal yourself, man. And I almost made it through. Okay, so +1 to intellect. I don't really think that's how cigarettes work. But that is not going to be super helpful to us at the moment. We don't have any available checks. Wait, what is this? Oh, that's the check to steal the thing. Right. So that's going to put us at 85 XP. We don't need too much more, but we do need more. We could go and talk to the guys who are playing the game. Oh, hold on, I'm having a feeling. There, working class drunk. You know what this means, right? Case solved? Yeah, you cracked it, all in a good day's work. Wait, sorry, what did I crack exactly? Oh, what do you mean, what did I crack? Look how working class that drunk is. Oh, that's her husband, the missing husband. Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell that working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit. Wait, didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband isn't missing? But he is missing. You heard her, the worry in her voice. Here's the thing. I sort of wonder if we might be able to generate some XP off attempting this. I'm just really desperate for experience is the thing. Yeah, let's go for it. Give me some champagne. I'm going in. There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit. Go and tell the working class woman what you found right now. Oh, it didn't show up as a task, though. Hold on, let's talk to him first. I feel like if she... Part of my brain should be like, hey, she can see him from where she is. Protect and serve, madam. I found your husband. She crosses her arms. God damn it, I already told you, my husband isn't missing. Well, I found him nevertheless. I'm that good. Very well then, where is he? She's getting impatient, her hands now picking on a random book cover. There. Point. Wait. Yeah. Right? We could tell her right around the corner, but that's not actually true. Also, we probably shouldn't say this other part. I mean, I guess that's sort of around the corner if you go down these stairs and turn. I mean, I'm just gonna say there. Excuse me? She blinks. I don't follow. Oh, there's something else hiding in her voice, though. A trace of worry. Well, I found a working-class drunk, and I thought he might be yours. Right, because working-class women come with alcoholic husbands. She glances over your shoulder toward the drunk. You know what? Oh, this is a trap. Something bad, I guess? I'm sorry, I say stupid things sometimes. I didn't mean to annoy. You were right. I do have an alcoholic husband, although not that one. Ha! Blam! Knew it! But you told me your husband's all right. I did, and he is. She takes a step back. But he's also an alcoholic. So, is he missing as well? No, he's not. Or maybe he is, I don't know. He's probably in the park or in Jamrock or somewhere, drinking with his friends. She looks away. I haven't seen him for... to hell with him. She's completely forgotten about her books, staring blank into the distance instead. There, she's worried now. We should definitely push. Kim, is it just me, or do we have a missing persons case here? I wouldn't be so sure, he replies, before turning to face the working-class woman. Ma'am, just to be completely clear, do you want to report it to the police? Report what? He's just out drinking with his friends. I'm sure the police have better things to do than chase down local goofballs. Well, honestly, I think missing persons cases are mysterious. No, I'm going to say this one. I'm trying to bring back the honor of our police station. We've been humiliated here in Revachol in the past, it sounds like, but I can fix it. Definitely me. I'm the guy to do that. Not at all. The RCM is ready to chase down every goofball in town. We care about you. She sighs, but you can detect a slight hint of gratitude and relief from her face. All right, go ahead. Do you have any questions? Yes, what does your husband look like? This seems like an important one. She eyes you from head to toe. Honestly, not that different from you. Oh, like a late-stage alcoholic, then. That's one way to put it, yes. No offense, I'd also add that he's a little bit chubby. I see. What else? What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. The lining is hand-sewn. I made it myself. She sighs, her voice slightly quivering when she adds, It's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around in this, but he refuses to change. Who cares about the cold when you have your cool jacket to wear? You can completely sympathize. I totally can. I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Can you believe it? I do totally believe it. This dude sounds real familiar to me. Well, if the jacket is really that cool, I totally understand. Well, what can you do? I hope that at least the extra lining helps keep him warm at night. I wouldn't like him to catch cold. She's thinking about him out in the cold, in some park or on the coast, and it's making her more and more worried. When did you last see him? Yesterday morning. He went to the library. Her eyes become cold with recollection. He went to retrieve my book, and he promised he'd walk straight back home. Because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again. She scoffs. I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do with his addiction. It just makes me feel weak. Gone for around 36 hours, then. Damn, this is a missing persons case. Yes, thank you, Logic Brain. I know what I'm doing. I'm an extremely good cop. She turns away from you in an attempt to recover. Okay, I think I got it. So, you are going to look for him? Yes, of course. I will bring him back home to you. Thank you. You sense gratitude in her voice. Please do. Even though I'm not sure he'll return home by himself, I'm still sure of that. I'm sure he will too. I said even though I'm not sure, the word not does not appear there. I'm sure he will too. When he does, would you let Precinct 57, Kim Kitsuragi, know? He gives her a slip of paper. The woman takes it. It's a phone number. I will, of course, officer. As I said, it's probably nothing. Okay, hey, look at that. That's like actual police work that I did, thanks to all of my very good ideas about how policing goes. This was an extremely productive episode. We got so very much done, went so many places, talked to so many people. But unfortunately, we are out of time for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time. I can't promise that it's going to be as much of a rip-roaring adventure as today's episode was, but we will certainly do something. And we'll see you then.